Naam, kwa mara nyingine bado nimeganda hapa kwa maana ya Absa Sports Ground ambapo tupo kwa ajili ya kusemezana na washikadau ama wahusika wakuu katika michezo mbalimbali, na leo hii I'm privileged to have a physiotherapist. Bila shaka ukiwa na maumivu ya viungo unakuwa advice you should seek attention ya physiotherapist, maana siku zote wapo kwa ajili ya kunyoosha viungo, kuelekeza ili angalau kuwa fiti. Kama mimi nimekuwa na maumivu ya shingo, mgongo, mbavu, na bila shaka kintekenya kidogo kutumia mikono yake, na maanisha kwamba mambo yatakuwa mazuri. Karibu sana na jinsi nyumbani. Labda uanze, jina ni nani haswa na kazi yako?
Kwa majina ni Abila. Mimi ni physiotherapist wa Trailblazers volleyball club. Ndio. Yes.
Kwa hiyo tueleze kiasi kazi yako hii as a physiotherapist. Now, I see you are with the Trailblazers.
Basically what I do as a physiotherapist for the volleyball team is I ensure that they're injury free. And if they have injuries, I sort it out before it escalates to something more major. So there's a lot of things that are involved. Be it there's machines that I use. That is for recovery and reducing pain. There's also exercises that we also do for rehab. So basically, that injury prevention is my docket. Yes.
Kate, for how long have you been in the profession, that is, and maybe the challenges that you've gone through so far?
Well, I'm new. I've been here for just a year. Yes, and this is my first group that I'm moving up with. So it's a beginning for all of us. Yes.
But you're dealing with men, you see. In the sports industry, or fraternity for that matter, how do you see it, and how is it so far?
Well, for me, I was formerly a rugby player, so I've dealt with both men and women. So this just came up, and moving on, I mean, it's exciting for one because you have to deal with men. But it's a new thing because they're men, they're not ladies. So like, if it's a lady, you understand their feelings, their everything. But for a dude, it's something different. So I'm also learning how men react and how to treat them also. Yeah.
This is interesting that you played rugby. I didn't know that, but now that you are here, maybe at a later stage, utaongelea kidogo kuhusiana na your journey in the rugby, whatever. Kwa hiyo at the moment, kwa sasa uko na hawa vijana na umezungumzia kuhusiana na some of these injuries. Ni gani haswa ambao kwa hakika unaona labda sometimes inakupa changamoto kubwa sana wakati unapokanza mili na kadhalika?
For a volleyball player, most of their injuries are the knees, the ankles and shoulders, and one or two fingers or wrist. But with the rehab program that we do here, we try and prevent such injuries from happening. So like for now, very few have major injuries. I might say knocks. Most of them have knocks that are bugging them that we are still sorting as they continue to train.
The equipment that you have for the recovery in terms of making them fit and maybe enhancing their performance?
Well, for now, since we have no sponsor per se, so the little we have is what we use. So for example, for rehab, mostly we use TheraBands, and there's a machine called the TENS machine that stimulates your muscles and nerves. So that's what we work with, what we have to rectify whatever the issue is. Yeah.
Having been a player rugby, unajua ile pale ni contact sport. Sasa ukiangalia kujaribu kulinganisha kati ya volleyball na rugby, na wewe mwenyewe sasa umekuja kwenye taaluma yenyewe, tofauti nini haswa, the difference between the two?
Well, basically rugby is more physical. There's banging each other, there's falling, but also volleyball has its challenges. And every sport has its own type of injury, be it serious or minor. So for rugby, most of the injuries might be your knees and your shoulders, because they might pop. For volleyball, again, your shoulder, your knees. So they kind of correlate, but it's the science in it is different, because rugby is more physical, volleyball is not too physical, but it has its own intensity on its own. Yeah.
Maybe kwa mtazamaji angependa kujua ulisomea nini? Your area of specialization, yes. Kitu ulisomea?
Physiotherapy. Yes.
Labda institution, how long, na labda pengine kwa mtoto wa kike kumshawishi kuweza kufanya kazi hii in the near future?
Well, for me, let me talk for myself, is that physiotherapy has been a thing that I've loved doing for long. Even when I was a player, I used to be very inquisitive of our physio back there, what he's doing and understanding the aspects. So that's how I fell in love with sports and physiotherapy. So it's not just physiotherapy, but physiotherapy in sports. Yes, that I love doing. If it's your passion, do it with all your heart, and everything just falls into place. Yes.
This is interesting. I'm loving it. Talking about sports, you as a professional, right? The correlation between sports and education. What's your take on that?
Well, you have to do the two of them, because without education you can't, like, in anywhere in this world, you have to, there's the aspect of education that you have to do. Sports also can take you far, but without education, then again, because for example, you might get a serious injury that rules you out from ever playing again, and say you dropped out of school. Now you see, looking for a job will start being a hassle for you. But when you're reading and doing sports at the same time, you're at the upper hand, because in case of anything, you have the papers and you have the talent. So they have to correlate. Yes.
Now, in terms of playing the game of rugby, what really inspired you to embrace rugby instead of any other sports, like maybe volleyball, hockey, etc.? Why rugby? Because it's a rare kind of sport to women.
Well, actually, rugby just started for the fun of it when I was, I think, around 10 years in primary school. Then there's a coach who came and told us to try out and see if we'd enjoy the game. So to cut the long story short, I fell in love with the game. It took me to places I would never go, and I was also the captain for the women's team for the Olympics in 2016, which that was an achievement for me that, yes, that I think was at the top of everything. And I achieved my own, and I retired like 4 years ago, and I can say I'm happy that it was my time and my dream come true, and I exploited my talent, and yeah.
This is great. A captain herself. How was it at the Olympics? Where was it? Was it Rio in Brazil? Give us the picture. How was it in terms of playing for the national team and being a captain for that matter, and also carrying high the Kenyan flag?
Well, it's a heavy task being a captain, because everyone looks at you. You represent the team, so you have to be confident enough to carry the team. It was good, though when we went to Rio that time, there was a bit of clashes between, I think, the army and the gangs. So really, we were just enclosed in a cocoon, and we couldn't go like outside and tour the city. But the experience was nice because we got to meet different people from different countries, eating different foods, knowing different cultures, which was very interesting, and it's an experience that everyone should experience once in their lifetime. It's a really nice feeling, and I'm happy that I got to live that. Yeah.
So how long did you play rugby, and apart from the national team, maybe your club, previous clubs?
Well, I used to play for Mwamba Rugby Club. They're actually the first club to start a women's team. They're the pioneers. So that's where it started. Then I joined the national team when I was in high school. And Moi Girls, Nairobi. Yeah. And from there, after high school, it just took off. National team, going places, playing different positions, and yeah, then ended up being the captain, going to Rio, then my
girl, wacha niweke in general, tusibague kwa maana a young boy or a young girl, wherever they are in the Republic of Kenya or maybe around the globe, in terms of sports, una encourage wafanye nini aswa?
Well, if you have the talent and the passion to do whatever it is, be it sports, be it business, do it with all your heart. And God has His way of showing you the way. And things will just fall into place. Never be discouraged. Challenges must be there. You have to go through challenges for you to achieve what you want. But never give up. Yes.
Now, you're still with the Trailblazers. Ono yako yani, ambitions ukiwa na Trailblazers?
Well, for one, I'd like this group of boys to take their game to the highest level possible, because they're still young, they're educated, most of them.
Professionals, right?
Yes, they're different, they've been educated in different aspects, yes. And my wish is that I'd like their life to be elevated, not be just sports, even in life. If it's sports is the way. I'd pray that one or two of them go outside there, make their money, exploit their talent to the fullest, and yeah, that's my wish for all these boys. And for this Trailblazers as a company to continue growing, grooming the young ones who are coming up, and yeah, seeing them at the top is our ambition.
Bila shaka imekuwa ni mahojiano ya kipekee na mwanadada huyu ambaye kwa hakika ni daktari wa viungo, kwa maana physiotherapist. Ana utaalamu, mikono yake hii inapokanda mwili ama anapotekenya, basi ina maana kwamba lazima urudi kwenye laini na uweze kuwajibika pakubwa. Amecheza mchezo wa raga, amekwea pipa kwenda katika taifa la Brazil, kwa maana michezo Olimpiki, kwa faida ya timu ya taifa ya Kenya ya wanawake katika mchezo huo, na mengi zaidi, kwamba katika michezo bila shaka unapata kunenepa kimawazo na pia vile vile katika maisha ya kawaida. Ni msomi huyu, mbali na kuwa msomi pia ni mwana michezo. Niite Bonga Boli Michael Were Muhusia kwa faida ya 254, kwa maana habari 254.